all the legends. This is it. The Enclave.
This is Eternal Strands, a physics-based, third-person action-adventure sandbox game. And there's a huge emphasis on the physics-based portion of this game, because that's where Eternal Strands intends to separate itself from any other action-adventure game. We'll get into more details a little later on in the video, but there's something cool that I wanted to mention real quick. The developer said that, let's say if you're fighting a dragon and he's shooting fire, if that fire so happens to go over a body of water, it'll turn into like a vapor, creating like a foggy mist, which you then could go and hide under to break the line of sight from your enemy. And I feel like it's details like this that I'm most excited about. Now, to start from the beginning and help you guys understand the developer's intention and also give you guys the premise of the game, I would like to quote one of the devs. He said they wanted to create a game that makes you feel like a fantasy superhero. And you know what's funny? I've been wanting to play a game that makes me feel like a fantasy superhero. So they're already one for one. You play as a magic weaver and you're tasked with saving the land from something called the Surge. You'll be going up against gigantic creatures where you have to pay attention to the elements and your environment. It seems like everything plays a part. To help you succeed against these monsters, you're able to combine weaponry such as swords, bows, and shields with magical abilities, and your arsenal, it will grow over time. The developer said they wanted to push the physics gameplay into a more action adventure, even if that means sacrificing some realism for a more zany type of play. Now, to help give you guys an idea of the drive design for the powers you're going to be using, the devs say that they wanted to add physicality to your powers. An example of that is maybe using an ice element to freeze your enemy in place. Whereas in some other games, you may just use an ice power because you know that's the enemy's weakness, so it gives a much larger damage effect. But the actual visual effect is simply just a hit and you get your damage. Now take a look at this gameplay here, because this is what I had mentioned a bit earlier in the video. If a drake breathes fire over water, it'll then create this wall of vapor, which you guys can then hide under to break the line of sight from the drake. And the devs say they pretty much gave you guys the ingredients, so now you guys go out there and go crazy. The devs are hoping that you could find out things that they haven't found out yet. They give you the elements and you create your own formula for success. Another aspect of the game that may pique your interest is that the boss fights, they're not set in a particular area or arena, what the devs are calling emergent variety. These bosses, they're roaming the map, and I imagine if you're not leveled up well enough, you may have to use the elements to help you escape. Yellow Brick Games is calling Eternal Strands a physics playground. At the heart of Eternal Strands beats a revolutionary new system for gameplay interactions. It'll have heat spreads, cold chills, and real-time destruction, which all allows for unprecedented reactivity in combat. You see a tree trunk on fire, you could hurl it at your enemy with your telekinetic ability. And you could also snap nearby trees just to block opposing fire attacks. You also have the ability to catch your enemy's attack and throw it right back at them. All in all, it seems like Yellow Brick Games is setting out to do something new, something different, in a time where a lot of gaming developers, they just seem to follow suit. I'll be keeping my eye on this one for y'all, so as soon as we get some more updates, I'll be definitely sure to share them here. If you're new here, take a second, drop a like and a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video.